Okay, still going on today. Today is January 11th, 2023. Last night it was something. I got home from my clients and I started rambling how whole case is Michelle's mental illness and her dad's drug addict problem. The agent that picked up my case. This whole case is his drug addiction problem and her mental illness. This whole thing is. She screamed outside. Okay. I told you, he's run this like a serial killer. And it's the agent that picked up my case. And you have to find the clues to figure out who did it and who did what. Okay? So, we're going to put it this way. Memorial Day weekend 2019. Okay? Food counter, Walmart 62. For it's my daughter, her husband dates. He met her in Ravenna when she was having a stomach spell. It's for my daughter. They did all this for, and our family watching her doing this. Okay? May of 19, Mancan and Canton. They looked at me and said, if you didn't hear John's kids right, on the third step up, Karen, Dave's girlfriend isn't Shell, it's Michelle. They sold a login. They came up to me in November of 18. Will found a way to make more money out of this case. He's going to sell a login for $25 a pop. Will was doing this. The agent that called me back. Okay. All right. All right. January of 19, this young blonde girl shows up at Faith Family Church in front of everybody in the sanctuary. My dad's FBI, he works the case ID Dave. She was a pea sweater girl. See, I'm OCD and I'm one of those clean freaks when it comes to like different things with hygiene. Okay? Washing your hands, da-da-da-da-da. Okay? So I used to work in bank and loan companies. And so a lot of times with dresses, I'll wear cardigans. Okay? So, and if I'm not going to church with a client, I'm just going by myself, a lot of times I'll dress up. Because in apostolic religion, you're prim and proper. Okay? And got used to that for two. So I have a dress with a cardigan on, hose and heels. And I'm use the bathroom. I stand up, my cardigan sleeve fell down. Well, most people just push it up and then go wash your hands and your arms and you go on. Well, I'm OCD, so I flushed the toilet. I took my sweater off, washed my hands and arms, and got a new sweater on. Went to church. She came in with her mean friends. Don't sit by her. She has a pea sweater on. She was watching me in the bathroom on the toilet. Do you know how big of a felony that is? For him to let his daughter watch me on the toilet? They can't even watch you on the toilet. You have in protected custody, you have a right to dignity and privacy. And they showed videos of it to regular people. She bragged she had me raped and she could have anybody raped. She talked about the case in front of everybody. They sold the login to Faith Family Church. Not only do they have it, Trinity Gospel Temple in Canton, St. Mary's in Maslin. Oh, let's see. The Woodlawn Church, the big one. Yeah. My grandson Daniel, his teacher in Perry School had it. They sold it like a reality show. And then kept letting them hurt me and terrorize me. And people laughing at me like it's some kind of just regular TV show. And it's reality. Really hurting me. And they were doing it to make money off of it. That's where people don't find any of this funny when they realize the one that was in that store. So since it was Michelle's dad, and he's FBI, he's the one that was in the store when on the third day when Dave hit me with a board in the face. And he's the one that, where the neighbor said he showed up and asked these people to help get rid of me. He's the one that took the 25 grand hit. That's how sick all this is. That's why 3 days later, he's got a drug problem. He's in it with drug dealers. They kicks in my door. And then all of a sudden I'm waking up with giant bruises, lemon size, orange size, hand marks, dizzy, throwing up, can't even hardly mow the lawn, can't do anything at times. Don't know what's wrong with me, and they're date rape drugging me, breaking in, using amnesia drugs on me and beating me. And the only thing I can't figure out is if Dave's beating me, why am I not waking up? And I'm throwing up, and I'm too dizzy to stand up because they're amnesia drugging me. He's mentally, this is their family, Michelle's mental illness and her dad's drug addiction. That's whole case is, and his drug dealing friends. This whole case is all about that. Nobody does this but serial killers and occults. Okay? They let me finish up the whole house, work all summer long on it. Then Dave gets smart about wanting this one girl, Katie, so I'll go look for a job. And then they have the girl show up and cost me that job at a different store, so I have no way of supporting myself. And then where Dave was trying to have me killed because he wanted Katie. And the 4 attacks, okay? They had the guy show back up and threaten to knife me at Giant Eagle, let me know they're having people pay to watch me. Me overhearing that phone call where I didn't hang up and I thought I was getting Dave's girlfriend, of how Vega's involved for that lie of strangers that he made up 20 years ago when I had fibromyalgia and it went into remission a couple months after his kid died. Oh, she was faking, she was sick and faking, she got well. Well, that poor man was grieving. So it's supposed to be Keith Bishop, Stranger Ron taking up 25 grand because Ron wants me dead. Oh, boy, did he play it. He's a millionaire. He's a millionaire. Now I'm already getting better. I've been working with this doctor with pain medicine, toddling around, pulling myself different places, driving. Everybody sees me getting better. His father-in-law ran a stop sign. Nothing to do with it. My whole family's at home. Brian had to come tell us. We had nothing to do with it. I'm even toddling around with just my braces, no canes. Huh? There's times I could do without the braces, and sometimes I fall, and sometimes I wouldn't. They were there for stability. Huh? And yeah, his father-in-law runs a stop sign and somebody hits him. I had nothing to do with it, or my family. And where it goes into spontaneous remission, 80% of the time, on its own. I had work with this doctor that did high doses of pain medicine and get out and move and walk and drive and do my own grocery shopping and then walk the paper route with my canes and my braces and build up those muscles for it to go in. And 2 months later, after that kid died, mine finally went into remission, where it normally does. And they said all the swelling was probably a drug error, where I went into pain management and they put me on high doses of steroids and then 15 different medicines, and hard telling which one of the medicines was making me swell like that. It was a drug error. And my heart got off and I suffered really bad after having like 6 to 10 surgeries. I suffered really bad. And he had nothing to do with me getting well, and I had nothing to do with that traffic accident. It was 2 months later I went into remission. And that cult leader, an uneducated occult leader, uneducated, told everybody she was faking, she was sick and faking she got well. Well, he's grieving. He's on it 15 years later. And they worship him like a god. And boy, did he play it. Oh, and he's a millionaire. Played people with it. Played with it. His daughter's an RN nurse. RN. Medical training. She knows it goes into spontaneous remission since 15, 8 years ago. Probably before, because she did medical training before that. They've been playing people. Playing people. That's what this agent's been doing. They had, okay, now, Dave's dating Michelle, the agent. That's why that agent bullied me into a false statement. He's the one that went and told on me. He's the one that opened the case, and he's the one that stole the money. And he's the one that made me plead for my life. Okay? It's him. He has a drug problem. That's why he did all this. Okay? And my ex-husband's dating his daughter. They went so low that my daughter-in-law that just left my son a week before we moved up there became friends with her. Now, she knew the Auntie Shell and Papa, like Thanksgiving of 18, they knew my house was bugged because that's Auntie Shell. Auntie Shell's dad's running the case. So that was that Papa Will, the man that's supposed to protect me, is Papa Will. And that's Auntie Shell, and that's Papa. So yeah, so we're knowing that I'm in police protective custody, and all those men that Dave was complaining that were walking around me, they were police and investigators. Dave knew the house was recorded. John's kids knew that, because that's Auntie Shell's dad doing this. So on the third step up, the house wasn't meant for Grandma. It was meant for Auntie Shell and Papa, and Grandma needs to get out. And then later on to Flora. They were making everything up, their games of pretend in the basement, laughing. They sold a login, everybody knows. Maslin calls it documented me games of pretend. Okay? Better than what the other investigators called it. Fucking shit my family should be ashamed of. And they called them fucking lying dirty little bastards. Okay? January 12, 22, Walgreens, North Main. Sheriff John worked the case. He met goons at the door. While those kids get caught stating they made everything up. They did. They knew they were getting recorded in the basement, because that's Auntie Shell's dad doing this. And Papa's girlfriend's dad. They knew they were getting recorded. Melissa knew they were getting recorded, and she knew it was police following them around. They knew that they got caught stating, and they confronted her. That's why I was never questioned, never accused, and never prosecuted. Because there was nothing to that the new girlfriend's sick family had those kids make up those lies. She don't know about it. Don't even bother. Just tell me we found the kids lying. They didn't tell me. They told me they caught him lying, and that's it. And that everybody else spoke highly of me. See, that's why it's never nothing. Okay? Melissa don't even live here. She lives in Maslin, lived there for about 2 or 3 years. Her and her kids, they go to Maslin High School. Michelle's mental illness. She has a voice alter recorder. You can do it with an app. Trying to make it sound like a little kid. You're going to get us money? And Mel lives in Maslin. And her kids. It's Michelle pretending to be them. And they don't have anything to do with the community I live in. They haven't lived there for years. And then have people act like they're talking to Melissa. Well, she may still have friends from a long time ago. And they've even said they confronted her that they knew all the kids were lying a long time ago and not to say anything to her. Well, they confronted her in 18. Okay? And my whole family spoke highly of me. I'll tell you what, there's a little old investigator he got in some guy's face. I know everything about Karen. She's one of the best women you'd ever meet in life. Don't you ever disrespect her. Sheriff John, it's ridiculous for any child to be afraid of Karen. She's nothing but good in love. FedEx, October 2020. 3 investigators, for we all know this woman's innocent. Stark County Sheriff's, May of 21, Kurt just found out all those kids were lying. He's slow. November 7th, 8th, 21, Walmart, West Tusk. They found all the kids lying in 2018. They did. They're just, Maslin, please put it, documented me games of pretend. They confronted Melissa, and she moved on. She moved out of town, and she got remarried, and her kids don't even go to school around here. It's Michelle pretending to be them. They pretended that they were an attorney for my youngest son, and for a shower scene they put it in their stocking tapes. I went to my son, and he didn't know anybody was recording Dave and I in our house. He didn't know anything about any shower scene, and they were horrified to find out the bruises I had. Somebody was date rape drugging me, and they were stalking me and photoshopping scenes. They didn't know, and they thought I was working too hard, and that's why I was dizzy. They didn't know. They didn't know. They lied on them that they had an attorney and were going to help them if they didn't have an attorney. It was Michelle's family pretending again. She's mentally ill. This whole case is her mental illness and her family's drug addiction. And they even said that when I got my hair done last time at Walmart hair salon, some of the guards at the door, they walked up and said, hey, the police already realized they hired a bunch of drug dealers to do this to her. None of this is funny. What makes it an oh my God? I called the FBI hotline. We'll have an agent call you back. I lived in Portage County. I Googled it. Akron should have called me. Who called me? A Stark County FBI task force in the courthouse of Canton. He wasn't even over my area. And his daughter was dating my husband. Like I said, all this was wiped out in 18. They're trying to pull a fast one. They told people that I had charges. I've never been questioned of wrongdoing. I've never been prosecuted. I've never been found guilty. They just lie. They lie on everybody because my one friend said it's a tactic. You tell enough lies to enough people, you can ruin somebody, you can cost them their job, you can do this, and all they are is mean rumors. And they use it to destroy people. And what's really bad is he opened a witness protection program, an informant program, and he stole all the money from it and put it in his own pocket. He sold a police protected custody case and made millions off of it. He's run this case like a serial killer. Him and his mentally ill daughter, Michelle. Oh, I told I had a talk with my son, Josh. I said, Dad would have already been in jail if it wasn't for Michelle. He said, is that what's going on? Yeah. And Michelle don't have a right to block this. And sheriffs from out of this area want to know if the local police are slow. Because they should have arrested that agent and that retired judge. I went up to Ravenna and I used the gas station, and some guys in there on the phone said, Judge Pete is sick over this. I bet his son is a serial killer. He's messed up in drugs and publicly humiliated the wife, date rape, drugged her, sold police information, drugged up the poor wife, and embezzled $300,000 from the witness protection program and made millions off a protected custody case. Yeah, I bet he is sick. Yeah, he was a sitting judge in that county at one time. And then thought his son is that messed up with drugs and his mentally ill family. Do you realize what kind of disgrace he is? Oh, yeah, Michelle was outside my house and screamed when I said this is just her mental illness. It is. And it's her dad's drug addiction, because it was her daddy running the case for the guy running it. Well, who's running it? My dad. And I date Dave. He wasn't allowed to, like they said, January 5th, 23. Macy's. I'm in there. They tape an audio through the whole store. I ask. Okay? By the dresses. That man knew better than to ever pick up this case with his daughter dating her husband for a long time before she called the FBI. He better find her money, and these people better never open their mouth against her again. Conflict of interest. For every constitutional right broke, it's 1 to 10. For a conflict of interest, it's 1 to 10. You have a right to privacy, a right to remain quiet, a right to an attorney, a right to a fair court trial, bail and bond, a right not to be mistreated, and a freedom of speech. He cannot do any of this. He can't. And it's been people's low IQs, and he's been running it like a serial killer. He is who the FBI hunts. He is 100%. He sits there, and you have to figure out what they did. That's where that Eric on November 1822 came in Walmart high as a kite, him and his friend, and confessed that all the tapes before were them and not me. And they did it for people to fall for it. Huh? Do you know, like I said, that little old investigator got in the guy's face. I know everything about Karen's life. She's one of the finest women you'd ever meet in life, and don't you ever disrespect her. Told you. And he yelled that out in Walmart. They all did. Told you, even October 5th, 21, Huntington Bank, in front of people. I don't want Melissa getting no money out of this. That's okay. They knew they made everything up. They didn't want anybody to help her. Like Flores said, my granddaughter that was playing with him. Of course it never happened. Of course it wasn't true. We made it up. It was games of pretend laughing. Well, that's what they got caught stating. In a legally bugged house, and those kids knew it was bugged. So did Dave, because that's his girlfriend. And that's Auntie Shell. Melissa knew they got caught stating a lie, and they top of it, they confronted her. Last summer, even more investigators. We went to Melissa and asked her why she had those kids make it up. Oh, we just wanted to help them get the house. We told her no matter what, she should have stayed out of this. She should. She's moved on. And she got corrected in 18. And she moved away. And she's remarried. And she's gone on with her life. Her kids told some mean jokes. That's it. Do you understand? And they're just playing everybody down here, trying to embezzle money from the witness protection program. And they already have stole over $300,000 from it and selling the login and made millions off of it. It's their mentally ill family messed up with drugs.